treatment.
Who did we contact for that? No, who was the company we contacted?
Family.
Yeah,
Family.
that's right.
I contacted myself.
What's going on?
I need them to come check their property because we see termites.
The whole property?
The front yard.
Okay.
You were talking about the subterranean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it seems that Glenn has submitted to the board my invoice because I have them. And, not the board, but I guess this office cannot find a list where they did any treatment at my place. I called Terminex out. And of course, they go around and they take the pictures, and I really have it back. I have not only the subterranean, but I have the driveway. So I had them to come out and, spray, to try to eliminate this. And for whatever reason, I guess Glenn needed to bring it to the board. So I asked Charlene that I needed to speak on it because I wasn't quite sure.
Here? In front of everybody?
Of course, because Glenn brought it to the board.
I sent it to the board. I can't
We
make
did
a
it.
order without board.
We did
approval. I sent it to the whole board for approval.
Okay,
So is the protocol that the residents are supposed to contact the office if it's subterranean, correct?
Correct.
So what's the problem? I'm confused.
What's the problem? The problem is this. This is the way I see the problem. Okay? If somebody go out and get I'm just gonna be out there, $100,000 type of treatment. Do you expect the board to pay the $100,000 type of treatment?
no.
So my stance was, what have we done in the past practice? Because we don't want to create a new past practice, because whatever we do for one, we should do for all. And it has nothing to do with, I took the person out of it. I'm looking at the specific situation. If a person goes out and then and pay for it, now when the next person comes, it shouldn't be a question if the board approves it. It shouldn't be a question that it should be paid for by the next person because that's what they did. So my stance was, what was past practice?
And it's in writing.
Yeah, my email.
So that's my point. No, I'm talking
My
about
email
the
was-
subterranean is in writing.
Yeah,
No
we've
one
been
should
talking.
know
We've
without
been talking about subterranean termites for years here, and we said in the townhomes and the manor homes, the HOA was responsible for those type of termites for years. We have treatment coming out. So if somebody went beyond that,
But the problem here is, we paid $85,000. You guys passed that. Matter of fact, you got the contract in place in 2021. Okay, this person, this company, which had just got his license in 2020, you guys hired him, but yet and still you can't show where this person went to all of these homes in the townhouse and did the work. You can't show that. It's nowhere here. So far as I'm concerned, evidently, my house was never done.
okay,
Never, and some other places probably was never done.
So
Okay.
can I?
Okay, well, let me finish now. Okay, so it was never done. So therefore, when I had Terminex, because they sprayed my house anyway, and they give a free service. That's the only reason I determined that I had this major problem. The free service was to inspect. They inspect, they took things, and so, as far as I'm concerned, you never did it. So I had to move forward because I haven't really.
So my question is, once they evaluated, did you reach out to the office?
No,
That's my only question.
No, because the contract was over. You had the contract for that 1 year. You had already paid this thing, $85,000.
But Ms. Adams, they're saying that everyone in the manor homes or inside of the townhomes are entitled to get the same treatment. So if you didn't receive it, coming to the office
No.
to give you that treatment, right?
No, what I'm saying is this. If she, just like she's saying, there's no record of her getting it, okay? It could be the previous company. She got the treatment because the treatment's supposed to last a certain amount of years. So guess what? When her expert said she had subterranean termites, she should have notified the office. If the office did not treat her place in a timely manner, then she went out and paid it, then I would say, you know what? If it was 60 days, no, she should not be having flying termites in her house because I had them at my house. I know how they look when they come out the hole. They all over your lights and everywhere. But by you not contacting the office, I can't vote to set a precedent that I'm not saying is right, wrong, and indifferent. I'm just giving you my personal opinion. I'm not going to vote to set a precedent that a homeowner can make a decision in their private space that can cost the board additional money without notifying the board. If we vote to pay it, we vote to pay it. I'm telling you where I stand and how I look at it, no matter who it is.
But until I researched it, I really didn't know you even had a contract. I'm just telling you what I didn't know. You never sent out emails to anybody. You never sent out emails to anybody.
Yeah.
Even when you do the contract, even when you do the contract, you never notify anybody. And if the vendor had even done that, he should have put something because it's a chemical that the person should have known that the person was there. But you guys don't never notify.
Ms. Ann, I'm gonna disagree
But
with you.
I'm okay for it, but I'm just telling you because, see, I look back at this because I'm gonna use another example. First of all, when y'all got the handyman, which you paid $5,000, you paid over $5,000. The board didn't approve that, but yet and still you went and paid this guy. And you have the budget person spending over $12,000.
Okay, we're gonna move on. No, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Thank you. We're gonna move on. Ms. Ann, that's not part of. Ms. Ann, that's not part. Nope. I'm not gonna. Nope. So thank you and move on.
That's fine. That's fine, but you took the money out of
No,
my
thank
account.
you. We're gonna move on. Thank you. That shouldn't have been discussed here.
Yes,
but
it should have been.
No, it should not,
Yes,
but
it
it's
should have
okay. It's your personal business. You want everybody to know, like I stated before, anybody personal
Glenn
business.
brought it here. Glenn brought it here.
No.
Yes, he brought it here.
In anybody person, we never talk about a specific.
Glenn brought it to the board, did he not?
I brought it to the board, yes.
And then
Yes.
it came to my attention,
Yes,
it
but that
gonna
was-
be on the agenda. She told me it was gonna be on the agenda, so I shouldn't speak on it.
Again, we're gonna move on. Next board meeting, October 14th, 2024, 6:30. Everybody in agreement? All in
Yep.
favor?
Uh,
Committee chairs?
Beautification committee's getting their list together, I think, for the new year, and we're trying to get prices for the budget and everything, so we'll have that.
20.
That's on
Budget chair?
Yes, we did the scope of service for the audit, and also we're working on the scope of service for the accountant.
Anything else?
What else you want me to say?
I'm just saying, you was talking about budgeted items.
Oh, what I was saying, okay, let me go back to this. What I was telling you the board a few minutes ago, that somebody hired a handyman. Okay, this is what we found out. We hired a handyman, and this handyman does not have any license, any insurance, and he went around, I guess, digging up tree stumps or whatever, and you guys paid him $5,000, but it didn't go before the board. Okay?
She's referring to Ron.
And it seems like the same man gets this money every year, maybe not 5,000, but every year, although it's not budgeted. But every year.
I'm going to address it. Here's what we know. We know, and because we got prices, there's a certain amount that we can spend that don't have to come here. And we've talked about this, but Ron is charging us 25% on a dollar for what we would be spending with other companies. You don't even want the price, and you guys saw the work that Ron do. When he comes down from Canada, listen, he's been coming down from Canada since before you got here for 2 decades, saving all of us money, and we appreciate it. And that's where we're coming from, and that's why he get the 5,000 versus the 32,000 that we would have been paying. And that's why and so when he comes down, he addressed those things. That's where we are.
Okay.
That is the point. That's all that matters. The money is all that matters.
All right. Jeff. All right.
Ron is the Canadian guy that goes around doing all of them.
First of all, it could be a liability issue, because if somebody
Okay.
at that house got hurt, then the board would be responsible because he doesn't have the necessary qualifications for, as I'm talking about, for his
No,
insurance,
no.
et cetera, right? The other.
How do you know that?
No, Jeff, please stop.
Because he
Okay.
don't own a company. He don't
Okay.
own a company, Jeff.
Okay.
Okay.
No, we're not gonna hold on. We're not gonna go back and forth. State what you gotta state.
That, I just
And-
stated that part,
and-
but I'm moving on to the other. Okay, good. All right, keep me in check here. Okay, the other thing was that we found out that, within the last 8 months, our budget person has actually reimbursed himself over $12,000. But let me finish. But somehow the treasurer never signs off anything. So I guess the board has given him approval also. Who is that?
I'm the budget person. What you're referring to is things that the office buys and asks me to pay for because we don't have a credit card here. It's not anything I buy. I do it.
Okay. Yes. Who, let me ask you, okay. Let me ask you this. Who on the board is gonna take liability to open up a credit card for 8,000 notes? Raise your hand. So therefore, 1,000 notes does not have a purchase card, for budgeted items that we already put a line item. If the office need ink, the office need toner, office need different things. So I'm not gonna put my personal credit on the line for 1,000 notes.
So are you saying, let me get this very clear, so we'll know this in the future. You're saying that you're giving the finance person, let me finish, the finance person the authority, for example, he purchased, let me finish, $5,000 and some dollars for, I guess, grass. He took it out of his own personal money, $5,000. So he had to reimburse himself. So even if he had to reimburse himself, where's the check and balance? That's all I
My
want.
question to you would be, is it a receipt attached to the purchase where you can track?
No, it says that he reimbursed himself. No, there's not.
If you look at-
There's always a receipt.
Can I just speak?
Go
to
ahead,
this? If you look at, if you take all the files and go through the receipt stapled to it, I don't buy it. Charlene went out and bought sod. She called me and said, we need to pay for it. Could you pay for it? I don't touch the sod. I have nothing to do with the toners, anything. They asked me to order it, I order it, pay for it, reimburse, and everything comes here. It doesn't come to me. And I do it as a courtesy. I have no issue stopping it. It's more work for me than anything else. It's just a courtesy.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this as the chair of the budget committee, right? What did we task your committee to do to make sure that we're transparent? So, okay, let me finish. Wouldn't it be your committee to, if you see a loophole or something that we're missing in order for us to be transparent, to come up with some type of solution to the problem? And so we can vote on and say, hey, committee, board members, this is what our committee found, but not this somewhat attacking, or like it's almost coming off like an attack. And I'm being neutral. I'm a neutral person. It's coming off more like an attack than advice.
I agree.
But
Every meeting is
I
grandstanding.
brought this, but it's
No,
not
no,
grandstanding.
It's absolutely
Jeff,
every
Jeff,
meeting,
I got this.
grandstanding.
I brought this to your attention, the budget, the audit committee brought this to your attention.
Yes, but that's
about
not.
5 or 6 months ago.
But and every time you guys brought something to my attention, and I clarified, similar to what I just did
You
to.
said you didn't know.
No, and I came back to you guys, and I told you, I came back to your group and said, this is what that is. When you guys talk about the car insurance, and you kept saying the car insurance, I said,
You didn't
hey,
clarify that.
no, I said, no, I clarified that. I said that's the name of the company. It's not car insurance. Because you guys kept saying car insurance.
Well, that's what he told us.
Well, can I
That's
add
the-
something?
Yeah, go
And
ahead.
I think this will really clear it up. I agree with what he's saying is saying, and you know I'm not choosing sides.
Right, no.
The being argumentative and combative is not gonna get the job done. If you can have some type of documentation, so for example, if you see something suspicious, I would love to be able to see what you found,
Okay.
have documentation to support it, and then when it's time for you to present to the board, then we will all be on the same page and aware of what you're talking about. Because I'm trying to write things down and figure out, okay, who's the handyman? What is she talking about? Who's digging roots? 12,000, like it is, and it's all verbal. All I'm saying is it's all verbal, but nothing is documented. So I'm not saying you will, but someone can come in and make this stuff off the top of their heads.
Yeah.
Because they may have personal, you know, but what I'm saying is if you come in with documentation and receipts, then people will be more open to listening. And that's all I'm saying, because right now it is looking like, and remember these meetings are being recorded. So it is looking like you're attacking Glenn. And all I'm saying is just being neutral like him and being transparent. As the committee, just provide us with documentation and receipts from your findings.
And
That's all.
one of the rules and orders for the meeting minutes was anything that you find, give the board an opportunity to respond to you, give your report to us as a board, and we should have it back to you, give it to us in a timely manner, and we should be back to you by the next board meeting before you get your report. So it's not looking like we're up here trying to hide money, because I tell you 100%, I ain't losing my good government job and my pension for a couple of $100,000. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's always a logical answer to what's going on. What appears to be may not be what it is. What appeared to be may be what it is. That's why we agreed to the forensic audit. So if you guys think it's money being stolen or missing up here, that's why we agreed to the forensic audit. But I don't want anybody's character to be attacked. Just like I take your guys' work serious, I take everybody's work serious. I just want to do it in a professional manner. So one of the reasons why it's like that, because none of us want to get a $1,000 credit card. I got one for my business. I'm not getting them for $1,000. So that's why Glenn buys the stuff and he's reimbursed. Most of the stuff is already have a line item on the budget. So they don't have to come back to us and say, hey, write a purchase order, have Wright sign it as the president, have Grant sign. If that's what you guys think we need to do at a certain money threshold, to have a purchase order signed by 2 members of the company.
That's what it was supposed to be.
No, we don't have those. That's
Okay,
we-
so you don't
that-
have nobody to sign, okay.
no. We don't have a purchase. We don't have a per se somewhat purchase order. We discussed this before. That's why we said, hey, we was transparent. A lot of this stuff moving forward from last year, hey, we need a group of people to come up with policies and procedures, because we don't have a lot of those policies and procedures in place. And that's us being totally transparent.
That we decided the property manager had the authority to manage the HOA. I remember the days when we need a box of copy paper and I go buy it out of my own money and never got a reimbursement. Not one time, but I remember doing that an awful lot. And there are people who've been here for a long time, let me finish, who've been here for a while who knows that. I don't even want to start calculating what I spent, but that's water under the bridge. But yet people will come out here and act like you're somebody who will take something, which is crazy. But anyway, Glenn, we're not telling you to change what we've been doing. We're operating the
But
same.
again, I feel.
But
like again,
Until we, if you,
I know you. I know.
I don't.
if y'all want to put a procedure, if you,
No, if we want to
No,
put
no,
in a
no, no,
procedure,
no.
if they want to give us a suggestion,
Jeff, let me finish.
You know, Liz, you know what might help? And like for the report I send you at the end of the month, and sending the board all the invoices every week is to copy. the
Oh,
committee.
okay, okay.
And that way you see it, you'll see the
Well, I
summary,
appreciate that.
and that would clear these things up before they
That's
even.
right.
they go.
I don't, what I don't want is no shocker and to make us look like we don't know what's going on, what's being spent. I would appreciate if a report is given to, if you have any questions, I appreciate a week before the board meeting, give a report. We should be able to answer your questions. We should be able to satisfy your questions. And then when you do your report, it should not appear that somebody is stealing something or somebody is taking something from $1,000, because that's not. We are moving in a, listen, we have came a long way. We don't have a lot more to go. With situations like this come up, it's a great idea. Hey, a threshold. If it's $5,000, $1,200, $1,500, then we need a purchase order signed before you purchase it. So therefore, it's just that simple. We don't have that. Okay.
we already have that. We've been doing the 5,000 for a decade.
We don't have, Jeff, we don't have what she's saying is approval amount where it's signed off on and moved.
What we do, we did it in a regular organized meeting, which was the legal requirement.
Probably need to redo it.
But we can redo it. But I don't want anybody to think that they're right about anything. We've been perfect following the law.
Jeff, we didn't have that in place.
We did it. You know what? Like you go back a decade ago, you'll see it in a minute.
Well, we weren't
meeting minutes.
okay, let me rephrase it. We weren't following it then, Jeff.
Yeah, we were. That's why we're doing it.
It's very rare.
That's exactly why we're doing it.
All right.
Excuse me, so isn't it not managed by a management company? You made a statement in regards to nobody on the board wants to put the credit or anything in their own name. Isn't Thousand Oaks a managed by a management company? So the management company should have a credit card and have the board members use this.
It will be the same thing.
No, it wouldn't be the same thing.
Yes,
because
yes,
the
it
only
would.
person- Excuse me, let me finish. It wouldn't be the same thing because the only person that would be accountable for using that credit card would be the treasurer or the accountant or whoever.
No.
Because I understand that, so I'm not where.
Ma'am, it's, ma'am.
No, but it's $1,000.
No, all right, we're gonna cut it. No, we're gonna cut it. Yeah, we're gonna cut it.
No, we're not.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. No, cause we're not going back and forth. Ma'am, it will be the same thing because if the management company have the credit card, then Charlene has to reimburse herself. So it will be this identical same thing.
No, it's not.
Why would she have to reimburse herself if this is a business like
There's
credit?
more segregation of duties, because she's doing the purchasing, gives it to me, and I reimburse. If she had the card, she's buying, she's reimbursing. There's only one
No,
person.
but it's a business line of credit, it is a business.
You gotta realize it's best this way. All this stuff has been looked at even by law enforcement. You guys don't know that. This is best this way. Jesus. The Attorney General's office is looking at this. You just don't know that. You think they be knowing something that's so wrong.
We're gonna end this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead.
All right, we're gonna move on to, board of directors remarks, and then we can talk after if anybody have any further questions. I just wanna, make a comment. I wrote my words down strictly so I won't miss anything, and I promise I won't be long, so I'll go quick. I shared last meeting the importance of us being respectful to one another and not mistreating anyone, in a different way, whether it is personal reason, whatever. But I want to say this just as a board member moving forward. I will not be bullied, feel threatened, be put in a hostile environment, bluntly lied on, in writing, verbally, or per email, whichever one. And I will make sure that in my role, I want to make sure that I am not mistreated by any current property manager, future property manager, board member, resident, or vendor, especially while serving on this board, which is all volunteer, and does not benefit my family nor myself financially. I want to give an example that just happened recently when I talked about how it is important for us to be respectful. I received something in writing, and then it was stated verbally that vendors are resigning because of the new process and protocols that were being adopted by the entire board. When all vendors are required to follow the same steps and procedures, then yes, I agree. Vendors need to resign if they are not with the same vision. They're not willing to help our community improve, and they do not want to follow procedures and processes that are in place to make our community better. As I stated on several occasions and will continue to state, I am here for the improvement of our community. If that means I am not liked by many, so be it. Procedures, processes are being put in place to ensure we are receiving what we are paying for. It is sad that a few of us, whether we're a board member, a vendor, or even a resident, may not have the same interests or mindset, but I am thankful that majority of us do. So for the sake of transparency and moving forward with integrity and professionalism, we need to continue to respect each other in our role, whether we dislike the person's personal ways. And to residents moving forward, I ask that we appoint and hire people in positions that we want to see or has the same interest in making sure that our community prosper. Not in it for their own personal gains or financial benefits. I am only one board member and I cannot do this by myself. I do need the help of my fellow board members and our residents. Hopefully we will continue to improve because I do see a change and we will become greater and making sure that that common goal is thousands of Oaks continue to be safe, affordable, and a truly pleasant place to live.
Any other board members?
My only comment would be, we heard presentations from Landscape and from a CAM company tonight. Landscape may not be an emergency that we have to decide on, but we all received an email this week as to when our current CAM will finish her term. So we do need to move expediently on that one because we have to make sure that we have somebody in place. If you didn't run the numbers in your head, I did it on paper. You look at a big gap in what the current expenses are for all the services that are provided. If you figure it out on a monthly basis, it's $7 per resident would be your increase to have that company come in and take care of everything that they do.
It's $64,000. It's almost $65,000 increase.
Which is $7 per month per household.
And I
So you as an individual sitting there, it costs you another $7 to have access to all of that.
I agree with that, but here's the thing. I'm watching half of this room is the same people, and we're being. Let me finish. I'm really kind of tired of being cut off. Every time I begin to speak, we grandstand about who's talking. We always grandstand about who's talking. I'm not going to be disrespected. I'm going to finish saying what I'm saying. I'm going to finish saying what I'm saying. I'm going to keep on, and I'm going to finish saying what I'm saying. So what I was saying was, what we got to do is, and we can do that. But what I'm saying is, we had people in the same people as in this room when we were talking about, we look at the last two property managers and they had to take less. Now someone else walked through the door and we're willing to give them more. These same people sat up here and half of you was sitting out there and we wanted less. But I can tell you this, that same $64,000 that we're talking about, it's gonna mean something come budget time.
Meeting is adjourned.
So just think about that. You never said that before. You've been a hypocrite.
Listen. I'm not. Hey, look, Miss Kate. We should vote tonight on that.
We should vote tonight on that. You should.
No. Okay, no, okay? No. Listen, this. Ladies and gentlemen, we reverted back to where we was before. I wasn't trying to cut people off, but this is why I was cutting people off, because I did not want us to revert back to the screaming and yelling. I know, but excuse me. That's why I was doing what I was doing, is trying to put things in proper.
Jay, I'm never gonna be cut off.
You still want